You think F1 is all about machines and muscle? Think again. Welcome to the lesser-known world of driver superstitions and rituals. Number 6. In the adrenaline-pumped world of Formula One, where precision and speed rule, it's fascinating to discover the quirky rituals that top-tier drivers embrace. One of the most intriguing is that of 1980 world champion Alan Jones, whose secret weapon was none other than a pair of lucky red underwear. Every race, Jones would wear the same pair of red undergarments, an unconventional ritual deeply ingrained in his racing routine. The commitment to his lucky charm was so profound that during a critical race in Canada, when he found his lucky pair missing, he called upon his wife to retrieve it from a motorhome located thousands of miles away in Brands Hatch. Imagine the suspense, the ticking clock, the underwear making its transatlantic journey just in time for the race. And guess what? Jones won the championship right after this mad dash. Whether it was the magic of his underwear or his racing prowess, we'll never know. Number 5, imagine you're in the driver's seat of an F1 car. The power of the engine beneath you, the adrenaline pumping. Now picture a serene, calming image amid the chaos. The late Pope John Paul II. This is the reality for Sergio Perez, the Force India superstar. As a devout Catholic, Perez feels a deep connection to the late Pope after a meeting back in the 2000s that resulted in a powerful touch of the hand. This encounter ignited a spiritual bond that Perez carries with him to this day, every time he gets into his car. In his cockpit, away from the screaming fans and roaring engines, lies a picture of Pope John Paul II, his divine co-driver. For Perez, the Pope is his unseen teammate, offering an extra push and keeping him connected to a source of spiritual strength. Number 4. When Sebastian Vettel revs up his F1 car, he's not alone. He carries 4 lucky charms, each with a special story. Nestled in his race suit pockets, there's a tiny metal pig and a 1-cent coin. This isn't just any coin, though. Vettel found it on an Indianapolis street just before his very first F1 race in 2007. There's more. Tucked under his shoelaces are 2 silver pieces, gifts from his loving grandmother. One is a St. Christopher medal, a symbol of protection for travelers. Pretty perfect for a world-class racer, don't you think? And just before he speeds off, Vettel makes sure he enters his car from the same side every time. Like many F1 drivers, he believes this routine brings him luck. So, next time you watch Vettel on the track, remember, he's not just a fast driver. He's a man of rituals, racing with his lucky charms by his side. Number 3. Michael Schumacher, the legendary 7-time world champion, held a firm belief in the power of superstitions. And it wasn't just any superstition. Schumacher had a particular fondness for odd numbers. Flashback to 2010, when Schumacher made his much-anticipated return to F1 with Mercedes. Initially, he was assigned the number 4, while his teammate Nico Rosberg received the number 3. But here's where Schumacher's odd number preference kicked in. Without skipping a beat, he requested a switch of numbers. Many thought this was classic Schumacher mind games, a tactical move to unsettle Rosberg. But it turned out to be far simpler than that, just a deeply held superstition. After all, Schumacher had clinched all his 7 world championships driving a car with an odd number. Number 2. Alberto Ascari, a double world champion, had a peculiar relationship with superstitions. From dodging black cats to skipping unlucky numbers, Ascari took superstitions seriously. But his biggest ritual? Protecting his lucky pale blue helmet. Nobody else was allowed to touch it. It was his charm, his safety, his lucky star. Then came that ill-fated day in 1955 when Ascari met with a fatal accident. He wasn't wearing his lucky helmet. It was Eugenio Castellotti's white one. His blue helmet? It was off for repairs, having saved Ascari's life just days ago in a crash at Monaco's harbor. So when you hear Ascari's name, think of the man who trusted his lucky charms as much as his driving skills. And remember the tale of his pale blue helmet that couldn't make it to his last ride. Number 1. Meet Stefano Modena, a popular F1 driver who had some unusual habits. One of them was he never liked the left side of the garage. This made things tricky for his team, especially at the 1989 Brazilian GP. Back then, there were lots of F1 teams. So many, in fact, they had to earn their spot in the race. After Modina's team, Brabham, made the cut, they had to move their gear to a new garage. The crew worked really hard to set everything up. But just when they thought they were done, Modena noticed his car was parked on the left side of the garage. He insisted they move it, even though the crew was already exhausted and running out of time.